Conservation of momentum. Today, you should be able to differentiate elastic from inelastic collision and infer that total momentum before and after collision is equal. Collision is an interaction between two objects that have made contact with each other. It can either be elastic or inelastic. An elastic collision is when objects bump into each other, then bounce away from each other. While an elastic collision is when objects bump into each other and stick together. According to Newton's third law of motion, in every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. While the law of conservation of momentum says that after the collision, the total momentum of the system is conserved. This means that if you added the momentum of the two objects before the collision and added the momentum of the two objects after the collision, the total will be the same. Total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Momentum is conserved. This explains that the momentum of a system does not change when there is no external force added. Now let's have a look at an example of elastic collision. Here we can see that momentum is conserved. Now let's have an elastic collision. Still, momentum is conserved. In an elastic collision, momentum is conserved, but kinetic energy is not conserved. The lost kinetic energy is converted to other forms of energy like heat, sound, and light. Now let's have an example of an inelastic collision. Two ice skaters stand together. They push off and travel directly away from each other. The boy with a speed of 0.5 meters per second and the girl with a speed of 0.65 meters per second. If the mass of the boy is 60 kilograms, what is the girl's mass? Solution: the momentum of the boy-girl system is conserved. There is no change in the momentum of the system before and after they push off. Now let's look at how to solve the girl's mass. Now let's review the key concepts. The total momentum of the two objects before the collision is equal to the total momentum of the two objects after the collision. In an elastic collision, momentum and the total kinetic energy of the system does not change and colliding objects bounce off after collision. In an elastic collision, the total kinetic energy of the system changes while momentum is conserved. In an elastic collision, objects that stick together after collision is said to be perfectly inelastic.